In this video, we're going to cover how to build referral programs that work in crypto and grow your protocol crazy fast. Now, in case you're wondering who I am, in the past, I built a referral tooling SaaS called RefMint or Referral OS. We sold that to Helica, which is a Pantera-backed company. So ended up getting a few customers for it and then realized that Helica would have a need for the technology we had built and ended up exiting to them. So I do have a good understanding of how referral programs work, have been able to monetize them, and have used it successfully. This is going to be a two-part series. In this first video, I'm going to cover 3 teams that did referral programs really well and 1 referral program that failed pretty badly due to unforeseen consequences. So the first one we're going to cover is Blast. Now, obviously, Blast isn't really around anymore. I don't know what happened to the founder or what they're up to. However, they crushed it with their go-to-market, and a big part of it was their referral strategy. So one of the ways it worked is you had this 5-character invite code, and each account would have 5 invites. And additional invites were unlocked once your users deposited 5 ETH into Blast for the Bridge. So the people you referred had to deposit 5 ETH for you to get more invites. And when they deposited, it also generated points for the inviter. So the point system had 2 tiers. You would earn 16% of points of somebody you would directly invite, right? So you'd essentially earn a pretty big percentage. But you would also earn 8% of anybody that they invited. So invitees of your invitees. So to be honest, this is kind of a little bit of a Ponzi scheme / MLM, but clearly it worked for Blast. As you can see, this was the UX. So you would basically have these squads. So your squad would be you and your direct invites. And then you would basically, if you completed the squad goal of bridging 5 ETH, you'd get more invites. And you'd also get luck, which is essentially you would have this spinning mechanism where you would essentially earn rewards based on these spins. And if you got a super spin, you would earn 10 times the amount of, airdrop allocation. So they had this gamified approach to the rewards. Right? Now these points essentially were turned into tokens on TGE. Blast points were 7% out of 17%, and there was also Blast Gold. Blast Gold was what you got for using Blast native apps. So yeah, you had a ton of points that you could earn through depositing ETH as well as referring people, and then you also had Blast Gold. So they had a very interesting system where you had multiple ways to earn points. So by phase 2 of their airdrop campaign, you didn't really need an invite code to participate, but you would still earn basically rewards for inviting people. So while Blast long-term didn't do really well, their referral program did end up being very successful. Let's talk about another team that did a great job, which is GMX. With GMX, you would essentially be able to register for creating a referral code on the referrals tab. You can see what the referral dashboard looked like here. Basically, traders referred, their trading volume, rebates, claimable rebates, etc. Now on version V1 of GMX, rebates were basically paid out on ETH, on Arbitrum, or on Avalanche every single week. So you'd essentially earn rebates when you referred people. Now on V2, they also introduced more of a rev share opportunity. Affiliates could also earn GMX tokens that basically can be vested by the affiliate vault. So there is a tiered system with GMX. Tier 1 provides a discount of 5% to the invitee or the trader that you invite, and then 5% of discount to the referrer. So me as the referrer would get a 5% discount, and my referee, the person I invite, also gets a 5% discount on trading fees, right? Tier 2 increases both the discounts for both sides of it to 10%, but requires that there's at least 15 active weekly users and over $5 million in weekly trading volume. Tier 3 preserves the 10% discount for traders, while affiliates get 15% of fees in ETH or Avalanche and a further 5% in GMX. So tier 3, you need to have 30 weekly users that you referred and $25 million in weekly trading volume from your referees. So this would essentially mean that you are earning like fees, right? So tier 3 is like kind of hard to get. So that's kind of GMX's referral program. I personally think it's a little bit convoluted, but it worked well. Obviously, Hyperliquid's kind of just taken over their lunch, but I think Hyperliquid both has an easier and better program in terms of like how easy it is to understand and use. And then also Hyperliquid is just a better product. So it makes sense that people switched over. Let's talk about Lido. So Lido is a case where they had a referral program, and basically Lido is a non-custodial staking protocol where users stake ETH, receive liquid ST ETH, and they earn staking rewards from that while still having the ST ETH to go and like do DeFi with. You know, they can go lend it or borrow against it, etc. Now they launched a referral program in July 2021 as a marketing tool to bring in more stakers, promote STETH, and increase the protocol's total value locked. So essentially, anybody could generate a referral link to their Ethereum address and basically share it with rewards paid in Lido. At the beginning, it gave out 0.7% in Lido for every ETH staked through a referral link. Later, this was reduced to 0.5% after community vote. For each ETH, you could get between 5 and 20 Lido tokens, depending on the market price. This program, however, did not work as intended, because what happened is people would essentially just cycle stake. So people would stake ETH through their own links, receive STETH, swap it back to ETH on pools like Curve, and then repeat the process again to farm referral rewards without adding fresh capital, right? This basically became a dominant behavior, and 60% of activity came from this abuse, right? And it created a lot of selling pressure as well for the ETH to STETH balance. And while it did lead to more unique addresses staking on Lido, it just created a lot of issues. So Lido eventually shut it down when 30% of the allocated pool, which was 4.7 million Lido, had been paid out. Now there's only referral programs if you're whitelisted. So if you're a whale, or if you're like somebody who's known, or kind of close partner, a wallet, etc., you can get a whitelisted referral code. But otherwise, if you're just a random community member, you can't get a referral code. So they're basically more focused on integrating this referral code with DeFi protocols or staking platforms, wallets, custodians. I think this is a great example of what not to do with a referral program, because ultimately you have to really think about how people could abuse it. So anything that involves liquid staking, if there's, you could have this cycle staking problem. So you want to think really deeply about how your protocol could be abused and what kind of crazy devious stuff DeFi users can get up to, right? And this is also something where you don't want to hire some marketer that's doesn't really use DeFi to do this. It has to be somebody who's really on chain and really takes part in the ecosystem before you hire them, right? Now, the last one is Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid had a multi-part referral program. In their early stages, you would basically earn 25% of the points of the people you referred, and points were based on trading activities. Essentially, this led to a lot of activity. Post-TGE, Hyperliquid's referral program actually got better, because initially they were just doing the points system. You could earn points from referring people who then traded on Hyperliquid, and you would earn 25% of the points they earned. However, post-TGE, you actually could generate a referral code, and then you could invite people, and the people you invite would get 4% trading fee discounts in their first $25 million in volume, while you as the referrer would get 10% of the trading fees that they pay up to 1 billion in referred volume. So this continued to lead to more adoption for Hyperliquid. Now, another interesting thing they've done is build out builder codes, which is basically codes for their partners to essentially go and integrate Hyperliquid into their products. So building out new front ends for Hyperliquid. A great example is Phantom introducing native perps inside their wallet, but it's powered by Hyperliquid. So Phantom would get this referral code for all the volume that goes through their front end, right? And this has allowed them to generate, I think, tens of millions in fees. I believe they've generated $3 billion in volume through this. They're also proposing a staking referral system. It's not live yet. I think that's just being thrown around as an idea. The idea there is that if you stake Hype, you could essentially earn up to 40% of referred users' trading fees. So that's still being thrown around as an idea, right? In the next video, I'm going to talk about the core elements of a successful referral program. So we're going to tie in everything that you've learned in this video and give you really clear principles and a step-by-step on how to build your own successful referral program. This first video is more to help you understand some of the traits of a successful referral program, what could go wrong. The next video will be much more granular in terms of specific tactics. Thanks for watching this video. My name's Shash. I'm the co-founder of Crescendo, which is a marketing agency that works with a lot of top deep-in AI gaming teams. So if you're looking for marketing help, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be glad to chat. See you in the next video.